Hello my crafty friends, it's Jelly Bean, and I'm doing a little bit something different today. So we're in a little bit different area. Welcome to my kitchen. And I was going through some videos and looking, just looking and watching different people, the way they do their junk journals. And excuse my sniffles, y'all. My sinuses are terrible today. They're always terrible. But anyway, I was going through some videos, just watching different people, how they do their junk journals. And I seen something that I thought, ooh, I want to try that. And I didn't know if I had all the stuff to do it with, but digging through all the stuff that my dad collected for me, the stuff he didn't even know what he was getting, I found some of the stuff I needed. And what I seen was where people were taking paper and coating it with wax to give it a different texture and look. And I don't have another one of these to show you the original, but I'm pretty sure you can get the idea. I just had some sheets that I printed out on regular copy paper, and I found in the candle making kit this White Naturals beeswax pellets. My camera's on the opposite side again, so I'm working from a different side. But anyway, and they look like this. And you can use them to make candle, and you use them to make chapstick, and all different kinds of things. But they're little flat. They almost look like when you take the beads and melt them down and make the little enamel dots. But it's wax instead of hard plastic. But anyway, so I was kind of playing around with it, and I'm really liking how it's turning out. So I thought, why not come and share it with y'all a little bit. And I'm going to show you how I do it, but first I want to show you some of the ones I did. Now, I did this, and as you can see, it makes the paper kind of translucent. Let's see if I have something. Well, see if this will work. Yeah, see how you can kind of see through it? It's really neat, and it gives it such a, it's almost like a glassine bag texture, but it doesn't have the same crinkle, but it kind of feels like that. And I took some, and I've kind of got some before and afters, so I can give you an idea of. And I'm kind of in a learning stage right now of how to do it, because I just watched a couple videos to see how to do it, and I think it's really coming out neat. Now, I printed these tags somewhere. I thought I left some undone. Oh, doggone it. Anyway, it looks like this when you print it. Let me get over here. I hope it's enough light. Under my kitchen counter is not very bright. Maybe if I zoom in, y'all can see a little better. Hang on, let me try that. There we go. Let's see how that works. Okay, that's a before, and I don't really have an after of the same exact size, but this is kind of after. Isn't that a cool look? And it's shiny, and it's got a real slick feeling. Now, like I said, I'm just learning, and I had printed these out double-sided, but this was a mess-up batch that I did, and I didn't want to mess up anything if it didn't work, so I was using my mess-up batch because they printed the wrong thing on the wrong side. But I love the way these are coming out. They are really, really pretty, and most everyone that does it in the videos that I've seen do use the yellow beeswax, and I didn't have yellow. I'm just using what I had. Another thing that I tried was a book page. Now, this book page I wiped up ink with, so I wouldn't waste my ink when I was using it. So this is after, And this has a little tiny bit of ink. This is before. Let me get them over here. But isn't that cool, the way that looks? And it feels really neat too. So I did a book page, and I did just regular copy paper. Here's another copy paper that I did and put it on. Here's a bigger thing of the tags like I had. See, this is a bigger sheet that I used. Oh, I better zoom back out so y'all can see. Sorry. See, okay. Let me show you the book pages again, because those, I'm really excited about how those come out. See there? This is with the beeswax. This is without. And here is another just printed sheet that I did here. And then I have this real pretty tissue paper. And I put some on it. And I know you're like, well, it just still looks like tissue paper, but it's got a real shiny, waxy coating on the tissue now. It's more like a glassine, but thinner. It's thinner than glassine, but it's got the coating on it like a glassine or wax paper. I also, I tried several things. I also did some of my cutouts that I did, and now I printed these on cardstock. Let me get in the right area here. But I did, if I stay further away and zoom in, it's brighter. So, but I did these on cardstock, and it's got a real slick finish now. I really, really like the way this came out. This is a before of the same thing, just a little bit bigger. And I know you can't tell, but this now has like a real waxy, very slick, smooth. I love the texture that it gave. But this is just paper. This is smooth with the beeswax. So, and then I took some regular, zoom you back out. Whoop, wrong way. Ooh, regular, just, this came in some shipping stuff that I got. It's just the brown craft paper that they send in with stuff, and I'll take it and smooth it out like this and just fold it up. And I may reuse it for shipping or crafting or whatever, but I took some of it and I coated it, but this is before and this is after. Isn't that cool? And then I took some and wrinkled it up, but I also thought, what if I add glitter? Can y'all see the glitter in there? Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, you can kind of see it in there. It's real subtle up close, but then this was the first one that I did with the glitter, and I just went crazy with the glitter. I put too much on there. I like it better with just a subtle. But this one I took and crinkled it all up like this, and then I pulled it back out. And the cool thing about this is once it dries good with the glitter on it, the glitter don't come off. That one I just crinkled up so it is. But look, you can crinkle it up. And then this is my little baby craft iron that I found at a yard sale somewhere that I've had. And it melts the wax, but it doesn't get real hot. So sometimes I have to go back over it with the heat tool. But isn't that cool looking? I think that is so cool. And that's going to be awesome in my junk journals. Now, I was trying something that didn't work out too well. And I've got some gold gilding flakes somewhere, and I can't find it. But I thought, well, I've got some of this. It's candy wrapper paper, and it's real super thin foil, and I was going to try some of it. But the bad thing about it is it's silver on one side and gold on the other. And I did put a little bit on this one, and I thought it turned out okay, but It's really hard because when you're melting the wax with it in there, they want to stick to your little iron, and you have to pick them off and then place them down there, and it's really complicated. I think if I had the gilding flakes, it would be easier because I wouldn't worry about them turning over being silver. But I did that, and I thought maybe I would do a few with y'all. Now, I did this dragonfly here that I fussy cut out. I'm sorry, I'm used to being over here, the camera. But, I did this, and on cardstock, I really like the texture that it leaves. Here's another one that I did with the wax here, and see if you can hear the difference. See, it's a real different texture. It doesn't change the color. It does make it smoother and maybe just a hair lighter, but I really like the way that's coming out. But I thought I would do a couple with y'all and show you. I'm not going to do big ones. I'm going to do kind of small ones just to give y'all an idea of how it goes, because one bag of these wax pellets, beeswax pellets, will go a long way because it does not take much at all. So I'm going to take like 3, well, let's start with 3, because I kind of have learned a couple tricks going around with it. And all you do is you put your paper down, and you get you try to get your iron hot before you start. This paper's bending up, it won't for long. And you just put your iron on it, and you'll feel the iron go down and the wax melt. And you're just going to start. Now I got glitter on my iron because I was doing that a minute ago. And because this iron doesn't get that hot and this cools so quickly, it's hard to get it to spread. I think if I had a bigger, hotter iron, but I don't do it enough. I'm not going to use this little iron enough to go out and buy a bigger, better one. So this one will do, and I'll show y'all a way that I have worked around and figured out how to do it. But you see, 3 little pellets is really all you need to do this one little sheet of paper. And this is what? This is about 3.5, 4 inches wide by maybe 5 or 6 inches long. It's enough to do one of the small size cards. And this is what I've been doing. If, like, this corner here didn't get it good, I'll peel it up and put it back over here where there was a bunch that come off the side, and just hold it on there and put it in the spot where it come off the side a little bit, and then it gets it. It really doesn't take much at all. But one thing I noticed, when you do the little iron like this, I don't know if it's because it's this little iron or if it does it with all of them, but you can kind of see marks in it of where you smeared it back and forth. So what I've been doing is I've been taking my heat tool and just heating it up a little bit. And then once you give it a once over like that, sorry, I didn't mean to blast the heat tool without warning y'all, but once you go over it like that, then it takes all those little back and forth marks out of there, and it's a nice smooth image. Now, once you do this, you can take it and crinkle it up with the wax on it. And I haven't tried this yet, but I want to try to take my distressing tool and put some like vintage photo on it and come back over it and like the crevices with the vintage photo. But now that I've got it all wrinkled, I can kind of iron it back smooth again, and it's got like those lines in it. And the yellow wax, from what I'm seeing, the yellow wax gives it a little bit different look. excuse me, it gives it more of a vintage look. I'm going to put the heat tool on one more time and go back over it to get the little lines out. And when you do that, you can actually see the wax melting and getting real wet, and then see it dry. But doesn't that look cool, y'all? This one has a little bit of glitter in it because it was around my iron, but I think that's going to be neat in a junk journal. And then I really like the way the papers come out. Now this is regular copy paper that I printed on my printer. And this is from a digital kit that I got on Etsy. And I forget the shop name, but I'll link it below, the shop name that's got this lavender kit. And alright, I got one that's like 3 little ones melted together, and I'm just gonna put that in the center, and I'm gonna set my little iron on there. The cord on this little iron's not that long. It's getting tangled with my heat cord. So once it starts melting, I just kind of push the wet wax around. And see, like this end down here didn't get any. If I pick it up and turn it to where it's wet down here on the wax. This is parchment paper that I'm using that you just bake cookies with, the sheets you pull out. But I put it down because I was using just the mat, and my mat started getting real waxy. So I was like, better not do that. So now I'm going to take my heat tool and I'm going to go over it just to get the little lines out. And that's also going to keep it from, help it from curling. And see there? Isn't that pretty? Look how pretty that is. But I just wanted to come on here and share that with y'all. I was really excited about it when I started doing it, especially when I did this. I think this turned out super awesome, and it's going to be really pretty in my junk journal I'm doing. So anyway, I wanted to share that with y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me for a few minutes. Y'all have a crafty day, and I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.